And now, Cincy Jungle proudly presents the Dalton Dispatch with your hosts, Daddy-O McDuck and Dr. Hoji the Electric Smoji.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Dalton Dispatch. I am Daddy-O McDuck, joined by Dr. Hoji E. Smoji. So let's get right to the data. In limited action against the Giants, Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton completed all three of his passes to three different receivers for 31 yards and a touchdown to Mohamed Sanu. He looked sharp and in sync.
Yup, just like he did early last preseason, Daddy-O. It's ideal Dalton time. No pressure at all. The game means absolutely nothing, so of course he does well.
Okay, so how would you rate his performance, Hoji?
Daddy-O, I want to introduce you to something I like to call range of red. As you know, many of us have made an association, an unfair one, to be frank, I'll admit, between Dalton's mediocrity and the color of his hair. These haphazard associations are classic in color psychology, Daddy-O. Dalton's red hair just stands out like a sore thumb, and when he performs poorly, especially in big games, we tend to think of other annoying red things: pimples, rashes, and the epically annoying comedian Carrot Top. On the other hand, since Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady all have brown hair, and we associate brown with good quarterbacking, strength, virility, I've made a scale to rate Dalton's performance. Tomato red, redder than even Dalton's hair, will represent a horrendous game, even for Dalton, like the disaster against the Browns in Week 10 last year. Think of General Lee, the orange car in Dukes of Hazzard. It was a vehicle for many stupid stunts and wasn't even competent enough to have doors. You remember they had to come through the windows. On the other end of the scale is brown, or even black, such as Kit from Knight Rider, a car that could not only speak and solve problems, but even give love advice to David Hasselhoff. So red is bad, brown is good. In between are the three fundamental shades of red hair: bright copper, burnt orange, and auburn. 1, 2, 3. Bright copper, the actual color of Dalton's hair, and the reddest hair gets, is a normal Dalton game. Burnt orange, slightly better. Auburn is a very good game for Dalton, and brown is when he looks like a top quarterback. Daddy-O, I don't expect to be seeing a lot of brown.
So where did Dalton fall in your range of red?
In this, the premiere edition of the Dalton Dispatch, I'm going to have to go with burnt orange. Better than your normal Dalton, but he didn't stay in long enough to earn more than that.
Alright, well that's actually...
Hold on, Daddy-O. I also want to share my weekly hojoscope.
Alright, what is the hojoscope for the first preseason game?
In this game, Dalton looked impressive and then got out of there before he messed something up. He sort of reminded me of a child who guesses the correct answer to a complex mathematical question but then refuses to answer other questions because he knows you ain't gonna get that lucky twice. As my professor and dear advisor, Dr. Roterro, used to say, the sun even shines on a dog's butt every once in a while. My hojoscope then is as follows. Dalton looked like a child, and childhood cannot last forever. This means that the good times are not going to last for Andy Dalton. Expect poor play in the regular season and 6 more months of winter than usual.
And there you have it, the Dalton Dispatch for week 1 of the preseason. Goodbye, boys and girls.